waiting for LeBron to come out so he doesn't have to go in and get LeBron himself. Uh, but like, low key, the Lakers might have to trade Anthony Davis. And don't even get me started on the rest of their roster. Schroeder's gonna come back. Schroeder's gonna come back. He's gonna be fine. KCP's gonna come back. He's probably gonna be fine. They might. Drummond's gonna want to get re-signed for a lot of money, which it's gonna be a lot. He wants to get re-signed for a lot of money, which he probably deserves because he's been in Cleveland and Detroit, two of the shittiest teams in the NBA. But he's not gonna get the money from the Lakers that he thinks he deserves, especially after this season of just very, very, very lowered expectations from what they thought they were going to get. I mean, and he rebounded the ball really well. He just wasn't able to score as effectively as he's been able to in the past, which is a problem because literally nobody on the Lakers is able to score. And I swear to God, the Lakers, for whatever reason, think that they're a three-point shooting team like the Suns or like the Nuggets or even low-key the Celtics or the fucking Warriors. I don't know what makes them think that they can just and they move the ball really well as a five-man unit. They get themselves open looks probably 70% of the time. They're getting themselves open shots on strictly ball movement and dribble drives and dishes. They are getting themselves open, but nobody knows how to shoot the three. And Kyle Kuzma fucking sucks. Kyle Kuzma is probably one of the shittiest players in the NBA off of strictly just just being cocky and just thinking that he's on the level of anybody else who was in his draft class. Absolutely ridiculous that Kyle Kuzma is playing alongside players like LeBron and Anthony Davis. It is ridiculous. Ridiculous. He Kyle Kuzma. Anthony, I joke. I like to joke a lot and say that Draymond is ass. And he's really not. He plays. He just can't really score as well as he's used. He has kind of been able to score in the past, but recently Draymond really can't score. But he plays lockdown defense when he has to. He boards. He passes. And that's really it. He defends, rebounds, and passes as well as anybody in the league. As well as anybody else in the league. I will not take that away from Draymond. Is he the best defensive player of all time? Absolutely fucking not. I don't know what the fuck was going through his head when he thought it'd be a good idea to put out a statement saying he's the greatest defensive player of all time, which is just absolute poppycock. But he rebounds, passes, and defends as well as anybody else in the league right now. That is true. But Draymond is I joke and say that Draymond's ass because he can't score. Kuzma is ass. That is a bona fide fact at this point, and they need to get the fuck rid of Kyle Kuzma. LeBron came to the Lakers, and he had Lonzo, Jordan Clarkson, Julius Randle, and Kyle Kuzma, and for whatever goddamn reason, Kuzma is the one that stayed to the four of them, and that baffles me to this day. Can you imagine if they're starting five right now? Lonzo, Jordan Clarkson, LeBron, Julius Randle, and AD. And I get that AD, Anthony Davis, I know doesn't like playing the center because he knows that he can handle the ball and he can shoot from mid-range and deeper. But the fact that I just can't. I can't believe and I'm glad Julius Randle's on the Knicks and that Jordan Clarkson had just won Sixth Man of the Year on the Jazz. And Lonzo Ball, honestly, really isn't that bad. Lonzo Ball gets a lot of shade that he probably doesn't deserve, but Kuzma was just he And people, like, you could look up old graphics too. People thought that Kuzma was going to be better than Jason Tatum. Like, that blows my goddamn mind. That Kyle Kuzma was projected to be this, like, up-and-coming all-star over all of these players in that draft class that just fucking, that he is probably the biggest bust out of the entire draft class. And I stand by that. And, like, do I think there's a question on a lot of shows now, like today and yesterday, is the window for the Lakers, is the championship window for the Lakers closed? I think it's not as open as it was at the beginning of this season, but look, if AD can stay healthy, and also I want to say, coming off of the high ankle sprain, LeBron said that, I think if I'm at 80, 90%, I think we got this, which is a fair statement because, like, towards the end of the season, like, a lot of players are really, like, at 80, 90%, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's dealing with something in the playoffs in every sport. That goes for basketball, football, hockey, baseball, tennis, cricket, whatever sport X, name your sport, everybody's dealing with something this late into the season. But, like, I'm watching these Lakers games, dude, and it's like LeBron's one of the greatest drivers of the basketball ever. He's choosing to give up looks to guys like KCP and Kuzma, which makes absolutely no and Gasol. That doesn't make any sense to me. He's just, like, throwing up threes as if he's throwing up threes as if he's Dame, which doesn't make any sense to me either. He is pulling up from spots that like sometimes go in, and, like, a lot of times too, because what he really likes to do is he'll get the ball in like a mid-range post area, like the inside arc, and then he'll take like 2 or 3 dribbles, and then he'll either make a move on you and, like, go up to the basket, or he'll hit the fade, or he'll hit his, like, nasty fadeaway on you, which he's done countless times to people in the past. And for whatever reason, he, like, backs the defender down for like 4 or 5 seconds, and then passes it to KCP or Caruso with like 3 seconds left, and then they just chuck up a brick. Like, that's not a way to run your offense. Like, I don't understand. I think there are 2 reasons. There's 2 reasons as to why that happens. One, Father Time is now, like, tapping on his shoulder, and he just, like, doesn't have it in him anymore to play, which I don't think is very likely. Or it's option number 2, where it's just like he's not at 80, 90%, and he's maybe running on 50, 60%. Maybe. And he, like, because when Anthony Davis plays well, and he puts up 25, 30, 35 points, they dominate the Suns. They bully any team that gets in their way when Anthony Davis plays well, because then it takes all of this pressure off of what is a probably more injured LeBron than we are led to believe. But now that it's him by himself, and now all the eyes are on just him, and, like, not split between him and AD, now it's like, oh, well, is it Father Time, or is it this injury? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that it's his injury, but, like, but next season, he's got 10 games. He's got 10 games next season to be like, nah, I was only at like 50, 55, 60% when we were playing the Suns. Like, I'm back to 100 right now. And if it can stay that way, the Lakers can win the West. And if Anthony Davis can stay healthy, the Lakers can win the West. But I hate, because I'm not gonna say that LeBron is towards the. I mean, he's towards the end. Like, this is him being on the Lakers is definitely the third act of his career. But I think he's got, because he wants to play with Bronny, So I think he's got next season and the season after that to put up like high ass level numbers, and then after that you're gonna see it like go. You're gonna start to see it go. You're gonna start to see it go like much more down, because I mean he's just, I mean, when he's gonna be 38, 39, almost 40 years old, like it's gonna be it's at times it's gonna be rough to watch for like people who have watched LeBron enter the league and now watching him exit. That's gonna be something that's rough. Do I think that this first round exit is a blemish on the LeBron James legacy? No, because like Jordan got swept in the first round twice. Kobe Bryant missed the playoffs like the last couple seasons he was on the Lakers. Players like Shaq have missed the playoffs. Curry just missed the playoffs. Dame just exited in the first, and not that Dame's on the same like historical level as LeBron, but like guys, players who are currently in the Hall of Fame or are probably going to be in the Hall of Fame, they lose in the first round all the goddamn time. Like it means nothing. Just because he was 14-0 previously and this is the first loss, it means nothing. It means nothing. Like, I mean, I don't understand. And like they lost to the 2 seed in the West. Like, it's not like they got up, it's not like they were the 2 seed and then got upset by the Grizzlies. They lost to the 2 seed in the West. Like, the Suns are, I mean, you can make the argument that the Suns are the best team in the league. Not the best team in the league, the best team in the West, because they're definitely not better than the Nets. But I mean, like, it's just like the Suns are the first or second best team in the West, and it's really not close. Especially since, and honestly, the Lakers might not even have played them in the first round if LeBron or AD was healthy this whole season. They would have been the 4th seed, and they probably would have played the Blazers or the Nuggets. So it would have been a completely different series. So like this notion that that this first round exit is a stain on LeBron's career it just makes absolutely no sense to me. But yeah, that is the LeBron defense, because also he's top 10 in every single like stat that exists for the playoffs. First in total amount of games, first in total amount of minutes, first in total wins, first in plus minus, first in points, steals, field goals made, free throws made, second in assists, second in 3-pointers made, second in triple doubles, 4th in double doubles, 6th in rebounds, and 10th in blocks. Top 10 in every playoff stat on paper, except for turnovers, which is a good thing. So like again and again, like, I do not think that LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. I stand by the fact that it's Michael Jordan. But like that does not mean that LeBron can't be simultaneously appreciated for everything that he does and has done in the past. And that is where I stand. Because he's just a very good basketball player. And like that's just like I just can't you can't really stress that enough, you know? Now with the Lakers gone, who is going to win the West? That right now I think is because the Nets are favored to come out of the East. And I really think that the Bucks can beat them, because just the Nets play really little to no defense. And like, you watch that Celtics series and it's like, okay, if it's like